Hello and welcome back on another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So right now I'm looking at the section 4 to make a quick recap of how to conduct a proper research and gather quality data. This is just an overview of this couple section when Paul Mendes mentioned that yes, data is something incredibly powerful because it can help you to influence, inform, persuade, but also can be misleading. And how important it is to recognize is how valuable is the source of your data when you're conducting a research for a consulting project, such as the data that comes from the company, which is the most valuable, the first data company. You usually need to sign an NDA agreement. So once you do that, well, you can look as far data or as far back data as they have and see how they've been performing because you can use that to help you influence your decisions. Then you have the second set of source from trust sources. This comes from source without an anonymous record. They also have proven record of research report, peer review. You may or not have to pay to access this kind of data. And then you have is the least valuable, which is the aggregate sources, right? These are type of data where you don't know, you're unsure about where this data come from. You don't know who the author really is. Uh, but it's important to mention that they exist, right? Then I look at the how to conduct a research, right? By from a broad perspective, okay, to get a bigger picture of how to conduct that. Play devil advocate with yourself always because things are not black and white. Gather quality relevant data as much as possible. Also, take notes and keep record of every source you obtain and check the quality of those sources. So, for example, if your source comes from a website, look out for their grammar. If they have poor grammar or something is, or the design is not new age or something feel like a little fishy, uh, check who the author really is. So with that, then I look at case study explaining is how Paul Mendes, this Google AdSense, uh, make his approach from the marketing perspective when analyzing and conduct a research, right? So I can learn from these guidelines. So, for example, when you look at tourist website, which is part of the example or part of the case study, so looking at this tourist website, in there you understand what they offer, all the product and service, and then you go into the specific about the categories, the pricings, the company's review, what makes this company unique, because you can use all of these fact findings in your consulting suggestions, right? So then, if you can access to the first party data, well, you can conduct a research after you made a research based on their website, their brand, prices, how much they charge, what they offer. You look at their first party data, again, if you can have access to that, to get uh, data as far back or to get historical data to see what they have done in the past, how they have been performing, So you can use all of that to provide your consultation. Once you once you've done that, you now move to the secondary data to make a competitor analysis to figuring out who the other players in that industry are in that area and what you can learn from them. So when you conduct a keyword research based on this competitor analysis to get a clear idea of what's going on in that industry, then in the tourist industry, then you can make a keyword research, right? Again, to make this research based on all the keyword you make by looking at this secondary data or this competitor analysis using tools like keyword search from Google or tools, right? And on top of your keyword research, you now look from a broad perspective at the world news, so you can ask yourself, how can I apply everything that I researched to what is most likely to work today? And that include is uh, things that how you say that, yeah, and that include uh, yeah, uh, that include is uh, how this industry is adapting to regulations and where this industry go. So these guidelines helps me is when I'm going to make a my own project, right? My own POC, proof of concept, of building an e-commerce with Vue and Nuxt using Strapi as a backend. Okay, so the whole idea is to make Sarah make myself familiar with concepts like e-commerce. All right, I am well familiar with Vue and Nuxt and Strapi. All right, for the technical aspect, but when it comes to the business aspect, that is when that's the reason why I dedicate time to this. I'm looking at the e-commerce. So Amazon mentioned that good. This is the trade of goods and assets on the internet. If you're bustling city center or your brick and mortar shop, converting to zeros to one in on the internet superhighway. And Shopify mentioned that whether e-business refers to all aspects of operating an online business, the e-commerce refers to the transaction or exclusively to the transaction of good and service. So that's what it is, e-commerce, right? It's solely focused on the transaction of good and service. Okay? There are several types of e-commerce business model. So you have business to consumer. This is the most common model when consumers purchase good or service to business, such as online retailer, for example, Amazon, eBay, or Walmart, Target, Amazon, Walmart, or Target, digital marketplace. Now consumers can purchase for good or service to individual or small business company in digital marketplace created by this business, such as Etsy or or eBay. Subscription service. So now consumers can subscribe or sign up to a monthly or yearly subscription for delivering service or online streaming, such as Netflix or Spotify. Online travel booking. So consumers can book a flight or a hotel or car in place like Expedia, um, Yeah, in places like Expedia, Airbnb, and Booking.com, and then you have is the online food ordering and delivery. So consumers can order food to restaurants online in places like Uber Eats or Dashdoor from in USA, but here on Argentina, well, it may vary. Okay, you have this Rappi or Pedidos Ya, things like that. So that's one business model I made as example, the business to consumers. I also look at the business to business for the sake of the example. Okay, so where business trade good and service amongst them. So you have market online place where uh, business create digital marketplace for business, such as Amazon business, eBay business. You have EDI, electronic data interchange. Business traditionally made documents like order invoice or purchase order on paper. Now they do that electronically and they can exchange that using EDI system. Supply portals, um, yeah, supply portals. Uh, so very large business set up an online portal or an online supply portals to streamline their supply chains and procurement process. And procurement are the buy and sell good or service with business perspective, aka at scale, to get a good bid. Okay, so in there you have is the whole Walmart supply center or SAP Arriva network. Okay, wholesale e-commerce where manufacturer and distributor sell products to a business such as Grainger or Uline. Uh, and business to business payment. So payment providers offer these business to business payment solutions to companies such as PayPal is one of the providers and Stripe. So you have this business model and it is example. Okay, I also look at the consumer to business, where consumers offer uh, product or can offer good or service uh, or other things to business, right? So, for example, freelance work, very common. So, consumers now offer service to business, such as freelance writing, web development, graphic design in platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer. Uh, Consumers can participate in in pay online forms for market uh, research purpose. So this is online survey. So SurveyMonkey is one of them. It's one of a company that provide that. User generated content where now consumer can create and sell their product or goods and service to business, uh, such as place like it can be either photo, videos, and audios. You have here like Shutterstock or Envato as well. They offer a service called Audio Jungle. Okay, something I barely know that, but that is a business model. Mm, 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 mm. That's right. Um, no, I'm looking at the example here. Crowdfunding. So now consumers can raise funds for their own projects and ideas in websites like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and reverse auctions. So consumers can submit their price quotes for product or service to business on a reverse auction. Okay, so reverse auction here is instead of business offer that is consumer that makes that auction. Okay, in websites like Priceline or Name Your Price. So this is actually something interesting to know. Okay, uh, and then also I look at the example of government to business, government to consumers, right? In consumer to government, all right, in consumer to government. Okay. Mm-hmm. So government to business, they offer is public procurement portals, tax filing and payment, license and permit applications, customs clearance and international trades, business registration and incorporation. This is also a thing that I need to dedicate, especially if I want to build a company, right? An example to government to consumers, especially is anything related to their citizens, right? So tax payments, vehicle registration, passport ID, online bill payments, birth and death certificate ordering. Okay, but when it comes to government to business, okay, public procurement portals, many government agencies provide online platform for business to bid on government contracts. Public procurement portals. So government issue contracts so business can bid for them, such as the federal business opportunities. Okay, such as the federal business opportunity. hmm Federal business opportunity website in the United States or the UK government contractor finder service. Mm, Federal business opportunity. This is something that I very not familiar with. Is that is that thing really exist? Contract opportunity are procurement notice from federal contracting offices. Okay. Federal business opportunity have moved to say what Uncle Sam Uncle Sam man. You have reached SAM.gov, an official website of the United States government. There's no cost to use this site. The unique identity identifier uses SAM.gov has changed. Exactly, so contract opportunities. Mm, General Service Administration. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. Entity validation process. Play maintenance schedule. Entity validation process. Show details. It's the first step in getting your unique identity ideal registering in the SAM.gov. Review time will depend on whether we can make a match from your original document submission or if we need to request additional documentation. For questions, our online research page containing helpful information about this process. Line maintenance schedule. Mm, 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 Federal business opportunities. Holy cow. Okay. So example now I'm looking at the example of government to business. right? So uh, government to business public procurement portals. This is many government agencies provide online platform for business to bid on government contract. So government to business is something like this, right? So an example of government to business where the government provide online portals for business to bid on government contract, such as the Federal Business Opportunities (FBO) website in the United States or the UK government contract finding service. The UK government contract finder service. So you have public procurement portals and procurement so many government agencies provide online platform for business to bid on government contract such as Federal Business Opportunity website in here. Okay, all right. So example of government to business, public procurement portal. Many government agencies provide online platform for business to bid on government contract, such as the Federal Business Opportunity website in the United States or the UK government contract finder service. Interesting. I barely know about it. It's like holy fuck. It's like holy fuck. All right. So public procurement portals, right? So many government offer or many of government's agency provides online platform for business to bid on government contract, such as FMO, FBO, FBO, Federal Business Opportunity in the US, or the UK government contract finder service. A UK government contract finder service. What? Contract finder. What? The UK government contract finder service. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Tax filing and payment. Alright. Many governments provide online tax filing and payment systems for business, such as the electronic federal tax payment system in the United States. Many governments provide online tax filing and payment system for business. Electronic federal tax paying system in the United States or HMR revenue and customer online service in the UK. Okay, public procurement portals where many governments provide online platform. Yeah, where many governments provide online platforms to business. Uh, Many government agencies provide online platform for business to bid on government contracts, such as the FBO, the Federal Business Opportunities, and in the US, and the UK government contract finder service. Tax filing and payment, again, so many governments provide online tax filing and payment system for business. That is for business. Okay. So many governments provide online tax filing and payment system for business, such as electronic federal tax payment system (EFTPS) in the US or HM Revenue and Custom Online Service in the UK. Licensing and permit application. Business can often apply for license and permits online, such as food service license or building permits. Okay, license and permit applications. So now it's the business that can often apply for license and permits online. Okay, business can often apply for license and permits online, such as food service license or building permits. Custom, clearance and international trade. Ah, Custom clearance and international trade. So governments provide online service to facilitate cross-border trade. To facilitate cross-border trade, such as electronic customs clearance or export declaration. And business registration and incorporation. Many governments allow business to register or incorporate online, such as Company House in the UK or the US Small Business Administration. Business formation page. So, with this example of the government to business, public procurement portals, tax filing and payment, license and permit applications, customs clearance and international trade, and business registration and incorporation. This is the example of government to business. And then you have government to consumers, tax payment portal, vehicle registration, passport applications, online bill payments, birth and death certificate. Interesting. And the consumer to government, all right? So after I look at this common, so after I look at the most common business model, all right, and it is examples, where and how does an e-commerce takes place? Most of the time on mobile e-commerce, enterprise e-commerce, or social media e-commerce. Whereas e-business refers to all aspects of operating an online business, e-commerce refers specifically to the transaction of good and service. So e-commerce is the buying and selling of good and service over the internet. Exactly. So make sure that in competitor analysis, so Amazon, Alibaba, Shopify, IKEA, Walmart, eBay, on that. Again, making this research, okay, making this research and understanding where and how does an e-commerce takes place is on the mobile sphere, the mobile e-commerce, enterprise e-commerce, or social media e-commerce, which is exactly what I'm aiming here on the mobile e-commerce and the social media e-commerce. This is the two places where right now I'm aiming to. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. So that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.